Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Morning Wood. And family, we are officially 15 days away from Georgia Tech. 15. So at this point, I'm not really interested in hearing what you plan on being. I want to know, who are you? Because when that ball gets kicked off in Atlanta, potential don't tackle nobody, hype don't fill a gap, a recruiting ranking ain't gonna never sack a quarterback, and yesterday gave us a little bit of everything. We got a chance to hear from the defense during their pressers. We got a chance to hear what some of those young men believe this defense can become. But before all of that, at the team meeting, one of the original Buffs got a chance to stand up and address his teammates. A dude we call Brick, Brady Kopetz. And let me tell y'all something about Brick. Brick was here before Prime. That's right. Before Prime got to Colorado, Brick was already a Buff. Around here, we call those guys the OBs. Original Buffs. And Brick is one of them. He's seen Colorado football before Prime. He's seen the transformation. He's lived through the transition, and he's still here. Brick plays tight end for the Buffs. But yesterday, this wasn't about offense. It wasn't about defense. It wasn't about catching passes. It wasn't about blocking. This was an original Buff standing in front of his team, a dude who has lived through the transformation of this program, talking to the guys who are now responsible for taking the next step. And come on, man, his nickname is Brick. You mean to tell me we're sitting here talking about building a football team and one of the guys pouring into the team is named Brick? Sometimes the Morning Wood man just writes itself. So let's wood this thing. Because you don't build a football team overnight. You build it brick by brick. One practice at a time, one assignment at a time, one tackle at a time, one third down at a time, one player trusting the man beside him at a time. And yesterday, we got to hear from Brick about what all this means from somebody who has actually watched this program change from the inside. I could tell you what he said, but while I do that, roll the video.
Talk about the standard of this university. He's talking about 4 or 5 plays every single day that we take. That's the most amount of plays you will ever have in a single period at one time. 4 or 5 plays, and you can't go hard. You know, when he asked me to set the standard for us, I thought about this Michael Beasley quote. You know, Michael Beasley says, at times of war, you don't sharpen your sword at a time of war. That's too late. You know, you sharpen your sword at a time of peace for the sake of the sword being sharp. Think about that every single play today. You're sharpening your sword. You better have your weapon ready when we head to G-Tech. Let's go. Come on.
See? That's what I'm watching at this stage of camp. Not just who's starting, not just who caught a touchdown, not just who made an interception. I'm watching who is this team becoming. And yesterday we got another piece of that answer because the defense got the microphone. We heard from the defensive side of the football during yesterday's pressers, and that matters to me because all camp we've been developing and watching this defense. We've watched Coach Chris Marv install it. We've watched the linebackers work. We've watched the defensive line work. We've watched that secondary compete. Now we're getting closer to finding out whether all that work is becoming an identity. Because remember what I told y'all, I love that go-go offense. I'm excited to see what Brendan Marion is cooking. But when Colorado gets into Atlanta, I believe its defense and discipline are going to tell us whether this team is really different. So we ain't talking about slogans, we ain't talking about hype, we're talking about changing an identity. And you don't change an identity with talk. You change it with people, with habits, with discipline, with trust, brick by brick. But then something happened this morning that made this whole thing hit a little different. Another man stood in front of this football team. My guy, Tim Ross. Y'all may know him from the Gram at Upset the Gram. And Tim Ross came in and spoke to the team. Now, I'm not going to sit here and give away his old message because I've got the video. I want y'all to hear a piece of it from the man yourselves. But I will say this. At this stage of camp, the physical work is being done. Your body is tired. You've hit the same dudes over and over. You've sat through the same meetings. You heard the same coaches. You've practiced situations. And now we're getting close to the point where somebody has to decide, what kind of football team are we going to be? Because Georgia Tech don't care what happened at camp. They don't care who looked good in Boulder. They don't care who won a rep in practice. On September 3rd, Colorado walks into Bobby Dodd Stadium and plays a real football game. And that's when we find out what stuck. That's when we find out who can be trusted. That's when we find out whether those bricks were actually laid correctly. So when somebody comes in at this point in camp and pours something into these young men, I pay attention. Tim Ross.
It didn't matter. Why? Because, okay, it's great to have sea bass, but I still know how to make a bologna sandwich. And I'm talking about like peeling off the red tape of the bologna. Putting it in the skillet and cutting 3 slices in it so it don't turn into a little bowl. Putting it on some white bread with some sandwich spread and mustard. With some Fritos, a bag of Fritos, I'm straight. I know what it is to have a lot, but I know what it is to have a little, but it doesn't matter if I know my identity. You claiming to have the faith now? Let's test how good you got that for real. I just want to encourage you. Be who it is you are. And don't switch up. Because if you get that identity right, everything you do will be gravy on top of who you are. And you won't be walking around trying to prove based on what you do, this is who I am.
Family, that's what I keep telling y'all. Don't just watch the depth chart. Watch the culture. Watch who's leading. Watch who's listening. Watch who's holding somebody else accountable. Watch who responds when something goes wrong. Because every championship team, every team eventually reaches a moment where scheme ain't enough. Talent ain't enough. The crowd behind you ain't enough. And Coach Prime can't run into the field and make the play for you. At some point, the players have to own the team. And maybe that's what we're watching happen right now. Yesterday morning, an original buff named Brick stood before his teammates. Later, we heard from the defense during their pressers. And this morning, Tim Ross stood in front of the team and poured something else into them. Different voices, different message, same process. Because 15 days from now, there won't be a microphone. There won't be a motivational speech. There won't be another practice rep. There'll just be Georgia Tech across the field, waiting to find out whether Colorado really built something. And if they did, they built it the only way you can build something that lasts. And that's brick by brick. That family is your morning wood. Pause, ponder it, play it again, share it. But as always, PEEP game. Because I'm Uncle Neely, and we got 15 days. Let's go to work.
All right, so I'm gonna give y'all what I give my sons every single night before they go to bed. Been doing this for Nathan since he was 2 and my son since he was born. I give them words of affirmation. I say something to them and their response has to be, I receive it. So that's what I need from y'all, okay? I'm gonna say, I wish I could look all of y'all in the eyeballs at the same time. I can't, but if you can, everybody can hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so when I give you your words of affirmation, your response is? And I need you to say it with your chest, though, all right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
First thing, I love you.
I receive it.
You're blessed.
I receive it.
You're kind.
I receive it.
You're strong.
I receive it.
You're gifted.
I receive it.
You're anointed.
I receive it.
You're a man of integrity.
I receive it.
You're a man of skill.
I receive it.
You're a man of heart.
I receive it.
You are brave.
I receive it.
You are valiant.
I receive it.
You will
I receive it.
win.
I receive it.
You will
I receive it.
grow.
I receive it.
You will
I receive it.
get stronger.
I receive it.
On the count of 3, I receive it.
I receive it.
1, 2, 3.
I receive it.
All right, love y'all.
Let's do it. Let's go, boys. Hey, let's get a break. Hey, work on 3, work on 3, work on 3. Work. On the half.